really looking forward to this one. This is going to be the Don of the YouTube. We're going to break NFT Twitter.
Yeah, this is going to be the hit.
Welcome, esteemed Ruthy. How the fuck is it going? I've been waiting for this one. Welcome to the NFT Scoop podcast. You are the first guests on the new YouTube channel, and yeah, I couldn't think of a better pair, to be honest. You guys are killing the game, and you're fucking wearing ski masks, but how the fuck are you both?
I'm good. Hey, which one's Esteemed? Which one's Ruthy? I guess we'll let the crowd decide, right?
Yeah. Well, well, look, I know who you are, and I wanted to lead on to I know who you are. I've known you guys for some time, and I've seen your rise, and it's been pretty nothing short of incredible, which is amazing to see. But why don't we start with you, Ruthless? Who are you, and where have you come from?
I think that's a insane point that you raise, right? Because maybe the first time that we chatted, we were Alpha Club, we were sub 10,000 followers, we were nothing but just a speckle in the Web3 sphere, right? And I'm not too sure what it was, but it was a combination of things that we've been able to do and persist with that has brought us to where we are now, which I would have never expected us to get here. Honestly, if you ask me, hey, this is what your project, your community would look like in 8 months' time, I'd tell you to fuck off. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm feeling good. So my name is Ruthy. I am the co-founder of Surgence. Started it 9 months ago as Alpha Club. We went through a rebrand and pivoted into what we're doing now, which we can talk about later for sure. Definitely by nature a startup enthusiast. So product manager, product owner, was a salesperson as well, and a digital marketer at one point. So that's about me.
Nice. Solid entrance.
And I love snowboarding as well. So
is that where the ski mask came from?
Yes.
Or is it a snowboard mask? Or the same?
This is a t-shirt, actually. I've opted for a t-shirt this time, a black t-shirt.
Okay. Right, Esteemed.
All right, well, I'll take the mic now as well. Just off the back of what the Ruthy said, I've never done snowboarding. I've never done skiing. I pretty much got this whole outfit from my mum. Yeah. Look, all right, let's get back to it, right? 9 months into the journey, man. Look, Barbell, we've known you for a hot minute now. We pretty much can say that we started from the bottom with you to where we are now. I know you're doing amazing things. We've grown tons since our first ever interaction. So as Alpha Club, we linked up, we had a couple conversations, we ran a couple AMAs, we tried a couple podcasts as well. So the relationship has been, it's come a long way from where it was to where it is now.
And what I think, sorry, go on.
No. All yours, mate. All yours. This is your show, man. We're just here to make you look pretty.
Well, what I thought was quite interesting was the first podcast we did, and I think it was with Ruthless.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Do you know? So it was on Discord, and I was recording that shit on my phone, phone notes, and then I uploaded that file, and now look at us. We've got the mic and everything.
That clear growth, man. Now you got a whole mic set up.
It's not even that though, right? Because when we first met, you were working on NFT Scoop, and you weren't full-time Web3.
No, that is true.
9 months, and I myself was not full-time Web3 either. No, I was just building a small alpha community, same as Esteemed.
Yep.
9 months later, 8 months later, you're full-time. Myself and Esteemed are full-time. It's crazy how much has changed within the year.
We made it.
Exactly. And I mean, we can definitely go through that process, right, of what we did to set that up. But it's just something to appreciate and look back on together, because it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, and we'll definitely dive into that, because I think for me, people ask what it's like to work in Web3, and obviously Web3 is a vast plane of different entities, things, people, but I've wanted this for so long, for so many years. I have read about cryptocurrency, and now recently NFTs, Web3 for the past 5 years. Morning, noon, night. In fact, it distracted a lot of my, regular work.
Yep.
Now I get to do this full time, and the work is hard, but I would say that it doesn't feel like semi-retirement, but like they say that do something that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Like that is genuinely how I feel, and I'm being serious. Like everything now clicks. It's like a perfect feedback loop of side hustle, passion, and career all rolled into one, and I fucking love it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it feels for us as well. Because people ask us, how the fuck have you been working for 9 months straight, every single day, showing up, myself and Esteemed, and still going at the same intensity, if not more? Haven't asked for a single dollar from your community. And like, the only response that we give them is because we fucking love it. And we're not going to stop. Like, our hypothesis on this space is to, hey, the other night, I was going to sleep, right? I was in bed, and this image popped up in my head. Now picture this, right? I see Esteemed smiling behind his ski mask. Anyways, I can't take you seriously, man. You're looking like a bug.
Removing my smile now. Can you tell?
So pretty much, like a majority of the founders out there in the space, right? They make a lot of money. They make a lot of money at the expense of others, right? They're investors, put $100, $200 in them, never see it again. Whether it's a rug pull or not, still, they make their money at the expense of others. Now, the realization that I had was me and Esteemed have been working with a framework where we make money, because everyone wants to make money. We are trying to make money as well, by also making others make money too. And that's been the core ethos of like how we've been operating with Surgence. And that image just stuck in my head.
Right? There's like
100%.
that level of satisfaction that you get from being able to essentially change someone's life. Because, look,
100%.
a couple of hundred USD per week might not be a lot to some of us, right? But when you look at a lot of the third world countries out there, when you look at countries that, this might be their whole month's salary and now they're earning this, they're getting to take care of their parents, they're taking care of their brothers and sisters. Brother, 100%. The level of satisfaction you get out of that, man, you can't get that out of a mint. You can sell out a collection.
100%.
And what are you going to get out of that? It's literally nothing in comparison to being able
100%.
to have an impact in someone's life. And I think that's what kind of gets me going. And that's how I've been able to do that, doing full-time Web 2 and full-time Web 3, like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Web 2, 8 p.m. to like 3 a.m. Web 3. For pretty much it was 8 months until I went full-time last week, 2 or 3 weeks ago. There's just that level of satisfaction you just don't get anywhere else. It's crazy.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think whilst we're doing different things in the industry, that's one pillar that has always been a focus of mine, and that is to deliver as much free value as possible to our readership, to now our viewers on YouTube, completely free. And we haven't taken, other than the research that we do and then the coins or the NFTs that we may invest in from being in the space full time, that is our payment. And on the back end, that's how we monetize it at the moment. But until our audience is at a point, we will continue to, give, and our readers and our viewers and our audience, they will never ever pay. Like eventually we look to be in a position where we can monetize through ads and that type of thing, but we'll never rinse our community. And I think that's very similar to what you guys are doing. I imagine you guys are making money on, and we will dive into Surgence, because I'm sure people are thinking, what the fuck is Surgence? We've got two guys here with a ski mask on, like who the hell are these? But on the back end, like in terms of monetization, is it like consultancy where you guys are for other projects that you guys are actually making money?
So I mean, and we can dive into this in more depth, and this has been a recent pivot, right? Maybe 2 months or 3 months ago. But just a bit of context, what Surgence is and we could dive into this part in more depth as well, but it's a community platform, weekly programming, develop people art. It's a hub for talent, hub for builders. And then with this amazing relationship that we built with each and every member in Surgence, founded on trust, loyalty, respect, and the values of grit that we go through together. Like, we're going to work through any problem that comes up with us.
Yep.
We have found so much value within this that partners could leverage to drive their own organizational, objectives and success that they want in Web3 and NFTs. So what the business model is that we might have a relationship with X company, Y VC, Z entrepreneur, networker. And they might have a portfolio of clients where they need help, support, maybe a high-performing team, strategic direction, whatever it is. And we will quickly put together a team of people that we know work well together and take a cut on top. And then funnel that back to the Surgence Vault, reinvest, find ways to make that a very good, I think that's one of the exercises that we're trying to go for right now, which is, figure out smart capital allocation with the funds that we have now. So, building a website, building some cool products in the future. But that's what the business model looks like right now. We take a premium at the top, put that into the business, and then figure out ways that we can grow the business faster.
Okay, so it's not like a traditional recruitment style agency where you essentially make a fee for placing somebody. It's like you have a team of you have a network in which that you work with.
Yeah.
These are talent which you guys trust, and they can execute on certain objectives and deliverables. And then what will happen is you'll then just say, right, we're putting this team together, we're putting this framework together. These are going to come in, execute on a project. This is how much it's going to cost, and then you take a skim. Okay,
it's 100% right, and that's because often when we talk with these clients, they don't know what their specific hiring requirements are. Like, they don't know that they need someone to help them close partnerships and collaborations, but more so they know that they just need to grow. And then so we say, okay, we can get together a growth package, a group of change makers, players, hustlers that can help you grow in terms of audience, in terms of community engagement, in terms of the numbers that you see in your Twitter. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. And are these members, or I imagine that these people that you put together of talent, I imagine that these are members of the Surgence community, but possibly not just members who are using the community to network, learn about NFTs. You have a select group of people that you'll use.
Yeah, Esteemed can touch into that process.
Yeah, so it really is going to start with our highest performing community members first. Obviously, the people who have been around for a long time, they've contributed to the growth that we've seen today. The people who have really stuck by us and believed in what we're doing, we want to be giving as much value towards them as possible. The scaling factor that we're going to be looking into over the next couple of weeks is where we start to expand this towards all of our members, Surgence List members, specialists, agents, everyone inside the community. That's like the dream state, right? But as it stands right now, testing out the product, making sure it works, making sure what we're delivering is up to scratch, up to standard, as well as getting a couple of good case studies out there for us to continue to get deal flow in. That's what we're working on right now, and that's why we're focused on our peak members.
Okay. So on that note, so that's more on how Surgence is monetizing and driving value outside of the Surgence community to different entities. Surgence, if somebody was to come into Surgence, let's say they've just entered Web3, they've just entered NFTs, they don't know anything about the industry. Can you give an overview of Surgence and what they could expect coming in as a community member and what they'd see on that side of the coin?
Steve, do you want me to take a crack at this, or do you want to crack at this?
Oh, mate, you can take a crack at it, and I'll go off the back of it if you miss anything, which you generally don't do.
Okay. So to someone that isn't even a Web3 native, it's someone completely new to Web3, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, this is how I would pitch it. Surgence is the place to bootstrap your Web3 journey. I think it's a place where you can build fundamental understanding of the blockchain, understanding of NFTs, and then undergo these events, initiatives, and intelligent conversations that challenge your perception of the world and how NFTs can integrate into these places around the world. So together, we go on this journey together where we just really want to challenge our understanding of the tech and bring that value to the clients that we can potentially work with in the future. Now, also, I would say that Surgence is a place where they could start their career path, their professional journey within the space. We provide the network. We provide the the opportunities for these people to connect with potential employers and also existing employees in the path that they might choose. Whether they are a business development manager in real life, they might want to go down the path of a collaboration manager in Web3. Maybe someone is a community manager of a startup in Web2, and they might want to translate that into Web3. And so then we will help them understand what their career goals are in Web3 and then guide them through that day in, day out.
Nice. Okay, so people can enter the Web3 space, join Surgence. Now, I know it's a private community at the moment, which we'll dive into, but if you're lucky enough and if you are graced with entrance, you're not only going to learn about Web3, you're going to up your skills, you are going to learn about NFTs, learn about crypto, learn about the wider market, but also have the opportunity to be employed in some shape or form within the Web3 space.
Beautifully summed up.
Yeah,
Incredible
right.
stuff. I love it. And like,
I think that's the thing about us is that we have a wide range of members, which is like a beautiful blessing in disguise. We've got people that are whales. We've got people that are founders. We've got people that have just started their professional development and careers. We've got people that are starting their day one in NFTs and Web3. But the beautiful thing about that is that we're able to tap into such a wide variety of perspectives and experiences and backgrounds. And I think the fact that we can do so much information and knowledge sharing between all these people results in an amazing collective success for everyone.
yeah. No.
And the question is why does a founder want to spend time in Surgence? Why does a whale want to spend time and come back every day to Surgence and not do their own thing? And I think the reason for that is that we've been able to cultivate such a strong family founded on, Esteemed, how would you describe this part?
Man, it's all just culture. It's culture, it's banter, it's showing up every day and having a laugh with anyone that you can bump into. Because, people are in there sharing their stories every single day. They're helping each other. They're teaching each other. They're doing, it's gotten to the point where the community is so self-sufficient that we come in, they're running everything by themselves. Our community pretty much hacks the product that we've provided them. They started random initiatives like Surgecast, among other things. They're running their own games. They're running their own events. It's pretty crazy that we've gotten to a stage that we are at right now. And I think I really attribute that towards the level of community empowerment that we try to put towards the community. Anything that we try to do, it's at their, best interest. Where
we have a 3-letter acronym, Esteemed.
Yeah, the acronym, Stay G. You want
Stay
to explain
G.
it?
No, you can. I want to see if you can remember.
Growth, empowerment, engagement. So those are the 3 values that we try to think about whenever we're trying to do something within the community. And it's kind of like from starting it with just myself, Ruthy, Mia, among other people, that value, that culture has been translated to the community to the point where they are pretty much almost completely in line with us, which is something you don't really see too much in the Web3 space, but it's just a function of how much time we spend
it's to an extent, it's a self-sustaining community platform, right? We've been able to ingrain into these people the mindset that it requires to become a serial builder in this space and provide also the facilities for these people to actually, come back every day, but in return receive value. You're not just coming back to say GM every day, right? You're coming back because there's educational events going on every single day. There's huge networks coming onto VC, whether it's a CMO at a huge company or it's a VC or it's just a couple of builders in Web3, and they're just having intelligent discussions or laughing around watching videos together, right? You're coming back because there's so many opportunities to network, to grow, to build, to meet new people, and just, I think that is the core reason as to why we're being able to succeed through this bear market. Often you will hear that, communities are struggling to stay intact through a bear market. It's very fleeting. But in fact, for us, it's been on a trajectory of growth every month, which has been crazy.
Yep.
And we hear this thing every time, which is like, people say to us, hey, it always feels like a bull market in here. Like, what's happening? I don't know, man. Like...
Well, and I can vouch that. And you know what? Just listening to you guys, I think it's super inspiring, and I can vouch for people listening here today. I jumped in the other day to Joey's financial education piece, and the level of education which you guys are putting out, not just within Web3, but in terms of actual growth, wealth management, outside of Web3 as well, is incredible. And the fact that you're offering it within your community for free, but obviously collectively the community drive value to the community as well. It is nothing short of incredible. And in fact, it really operates from, and especially from what you guys just said, it really operates in the true Web3 ethos, in the fact that community members are now coming up with their own initiatives, driving growth. The community has probably become much bigger than what you and Esteemed and yourself, Ruthy, expected, and that is because of the culture you've cultivated, and the people that you've put around you. It's fucking unreal.
And I think one of the core, one of the things that I think that we've been doing consistently that has helped us achieve this family that we've created, and this long-term sustainable growth and brand recognition, has been our relentless focus around trying to bring everyone up around us, as opposed to putting other people down and trying to lift ourselves up as founders. We're always in the ground every day with them, always in VC, listening to them, listening to what they need help with, what they need guidance with, answering questions, always trying to be as proactive as possible, trying to bring in events for the next week that we think are very relevant to the mass of the people. People trying to get into marketing and breakthrough marketing. Okay, we'll bring some experts in. Let's get it done. And then, I think it's just that focus on challenging ourselves to deliver value and empower our members every single day has just built up that respect and loyalty over a long term. Honestly, I don't think. I think if I was Jesus himself, I would not have been able to achieve this within a month. Because the thing is, this kind of relationship that we built with people and the brand, it took 9 months, and we probably couldn't have done it any faster. It's just it's a patient, long-term game.
Yeah. And I think that it's interesting when you talk about the bear market, and it's fantastic that the community of Surgence feel like it's a bull market every day, which is a great thing to hear. But I wonder if you guys have obviously thought about it before, but I wonder if the community even realize the gravitas of what you guys are building throughout this bear, and how much this will accelerate into a Goliath beast when the bull run returns. I don't even know if you guys have thought, what this is going to turn into. I'm thinking it's huge what you guys are building, to have this engagement, to have this passion, to have this talent all circled around, showing up every day in a bear. It is going to fucking go ballistic when things
it's a good point. We hear this sometimes. We hear people say, if we're able to land paid positions for our members in a bear market, if we're able to collectively print money off some partnerships that we secure or trades that we make together in a bear market, and we have this high quality network with their fingers everywhere in the space, getting all the information and opportunities together, how would this pan out in a bull market where everything is 100-fold?
100%.
I can't even fathom. I don't know. I can't answer that. It's crazy.
I want to take a crack at it as well. I reckon some members do realize it, but I do think there are a lot of members who don't realize it. And the reason why I say that is because I know there are a couple of members that spend all day, every day in Surgence that I'm not too sure they spend much time anywhere else to have any degree of comparison. So I think it'd be more interesting for us to be launched into the bear market bull market for them to realize this than to sit here and kind of speculate what they think, because I think the results are going to surprise us. That's for sure.
Esteemed. There's that phrase that we use. The best businesses are built through the bear, right? In the worst conditions, if your business can survive, then you're a good sustainable business or a project community that can absolutely flourish in a bull market.
Yeah, if we're cash flow positive at bear, I'm sure, it's going to be pretty interesting when the bull comes around.
Yeah.
Guys, absolutely, and I'll vouch for anybody listening today. If you just come across this video and you're still here watching, firstly, thank you. But secondly, join Surgence, do what you can to get in there. It is the best fucking community in the Web3 space. What Ruthless and Surgence have just covered, obviously, but you will only get to experience it once you're in there. Like, I can vouch, you go into a number of different Discords that are claimed to be alpha groups. Like, Surgence truly will deliver you value every time you step into that. You can jump in, there's a VC going on, people are talking about a project. People are talking about, how to manage your money better. People are talking about how to assess an NFT project and, how to seek alpha. It is the all-in-one package and more. So, hats off to fucking everything you guys have achieved. It is unreal.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, man. Really
I
appreciate
think
that.
I remember Esteemed and I always had this thing that we said to each other at the start when we were building out Surgence, was that we ideally want to make this a place where it is routine and habit for people to check in every day in order to feel like they are keeping on top and progressing in Web3. Like, if they don't check into Surgence that day, they're probably lacking,
Yep.
That's exactly what I was...
Back of that, that's why we've put so much emphasis on user journey. And I actually ran a little event with the community as well. There were 30 people that attended, and more so what I did was I asked them the things that kind of kept them within Surgence, the things that could have blown them away from Surgence, and the things that they would tell people about Surgence. And although the results might potentially be skewed because I was in there, I was able to get pretty much a whole PowerPoint slide worth of feedback that we could then use to improve the user journey for all of the new members coming in. And I think one of the top points that they brought up is that they felt they were progressing in the Web3 space by being in Surgence. And so we doubled down on that. We've stepped up the number of subject matter experts that we bring into network with the community to talk about their fields of expertise. We've, done more courses according to the things that they want to know more about so that they can get that base level of understanding before trying to attempt to put them into positions that they can then get experience in and then kind of take that next step, along with a couple of other things. Like, there are daily alpha sessions about people talking about different projects, analyzing them, having a look at the charts, talking about who's involved in this project, talking about the different whales that are looking at this project, that type of thing, so that it does kind of cover almost everyone within the NFT space, except flippers and grinders, because that's a no. We've got to keep the culture of high quality with Surgence.
Yeah. So it's, right now, though, it's a private community. Obviously, a lot of it's managed through Discord. Well, the whole thing's managed through Discord, as I understand. And it's a private members club, Web3 members club community growth hub at the moment. Is that because just talk me through that? Is that because, like you just say, no flippers and grinders? Is that to keep everybody in there? They have to almost, have some merit to get in there, and you want to keep talent high. How does that? What was sort of the decision around that?
It's a good question. That one. And the thing, I think the stage that we're at, and often you'll hear this from startups, that they just want to make sure that they please 100 customers before they try to please thousands, 10,000, scale out. So where we're at right now is that we're focusing on our initial first few 100 users, 100 community members, 100 family members, and trying to set up strong foundations and business fundamentals to at least serve them first, right? In the future, I think we do have this vision of trying to onboard or trying to scale as many people, scale our operations, scale the amount of people that we can impact and help create wealth for. And it's a really fine balancing act of doing that and not compromising the quality community platform. So we really need to figure that out in the future. So that's where we're at right now, which is why it's very exclusive, probably a bit difficult to get in. And it's just because we can't do numbers at the moment. It's just going to compromise the quality.
Okay, and how many have you got? How many members?
I think it's about 700.
800? About 800 something now. Because we let in a new cohort the past week. And so we have an application process that goes through every single week, where we then read the applications, we look for the right culture fit, we look for the right people that are here for the right reasons. We let them in, and then, we kind of track their user journey as they join to make sure that, they're here for the long run. They're people that, want to contribute, that want to be a part of this space and genuinely believe in NFTs and its long-term vision. before integrating them fully into our server.
Yeah. And I do think that
And
in the future, we do want to have like the model, the community model might be split into two parts, which is we have this intimate part for those people that have passed this vetting process into our talent onboarding system that we completely, fuck with, right? And these people are reliable people that we can depend on to do work. The other part of the community platform is probably where we can achieve some sort of scale as well, which is why, we have weekly educational and event programs running. People with Zeneca coming into Surgence, for example. People like NFT Nate, all these different content creators, leaders, builders coming in to share value. What if we could set up a system where anyone in Web3 and Web2 can come in and get a taste, get a flavor of Surgence, whilst also learning from these amazing people? So we're going to try to set that system up, and maybe that is like the V1 of like a bit further adoption. And then we can figure out, what is V2 from there? How do we scale the job side now? How do we scale the wealth generating opportunities to these people too?
Absolutely. And just to be clear, it is very much, for people listening today, it is full. Surgence is full right now. Are you taking in more? How often do you take in these members to the community?
Man, Esteemed, what do you reckon? We'll probably do another application form in like 2 weeks. It's probably like once a month.
I've certainly been telling people that one was coming out this week. I might have to go back and let them know 2 weeks, and there might be an opportunity there.
Yeah. We normally let in like about 30 people per cohort. What happens is this cohort comes in together. They have this like starter pack to go through, make sure that they, to give them a flavor of Surgence, they do these like checklist tasks. Meet with a couple members, meet with a couple battalion leaders or the higher roles, try and attend an event, enter into a giveaway, post a wins in the gains channel. So we have this checklist for these people to get settled into the community. Once we feel like these people have been settled in and we've kicked a few people out that are probably inactive or not a good fit for the community, then we bring in the next round of applicants in. The application goes live on Twitter.
Okay. Who would you say out of your community members shines the brightest? Do you have people who are like your core leaders who you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, there is a lot, man. There is. How do I get started? That's the thing, right? When you're with a group for 9 months and people have been here in excess of 6 months, there is like a whole ass list of people that I don't think I'd be able to get through. And I don't want to do it. That's the thing, right? I'm going to miss so many good people that have been there from the very start who have put out. I just don't think I'd be able to, just single out a couple of them, especially with the time we have. We'd be here for quite a while.
Okay. Well, I'll give a shout out to Chirag and OX Ripcord. I love them too.
Yeah, those two are strong people. Like they're absolute builders. Ripcord is a hustler, blockchain expert in the industry for a long time, and absolute shitcoin expert, like caller. He loves his shitcoins. He eats shitcoins for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
100%. Actually,
and then
one person that I think we do need to shout out that we don't give enough credit for, because she's essentially part of the founding team as well, is Mia.
Yeah.
Like, if there's absolutely one person that I had to shout out, it would be Mia. Like, she puts in the work. She's in university studying law, but she is here putting, events up, organizing the calendars, putting up daily reminders, keeping the community tight, building that culture within, and really building, this thread of interconnected relationships within the community that transcend.
Yeah, she's been critical for that.
Like,
100%.
Very critical. But outside of that,
the
team,
and one of the things that I keep drilling into, like Esteemed and everyone on the team, is multi-threading. It's my favorite term these days. Let me explain this. So to anyone in here, anyone listening, it's aspiring community manager or founder, this has been my key, our key to success in community building, right? Multi-threading relationships. Woo! So you have a community, right? Huge pool of people. But how can I explain this? It's like just a bunch of people just in a tank, right? There's no strong connections holding them. It's not a rigid formation just yet. Now, what we do is we have intentional initiatives, events, and culture that help these people to be comfortable and have reasons to talk to each other and become strong friends. And we
Okay.
try to do that so much that everyone has their own little multiple friendship groups within Surgence, have their
Okay.
own personal one-on-one relationships with each other, that we've multi-threaded Surgence so much that it's so hard to tear apart. And we spent so much time doing that because we understood that if we can multi-thread relationships, then people aren't only coming back to Surgence because of the Surgence Discord, maybe the alpha and giveaways. People are coming back to the Surgence Discord because that's where their builder friends are. That's where the other founders are that they're teaming up with, they're going to be working. That's where the other moderators are that they can get some more alpha from, or alpha callers, right? Collaboration managers that they can continue to work with in the VC. Multi-threading those relationships have allowed us to create a community that isn't just coming back for Surgence, but for within the people, the family. Yeah.
Makes sense. And would you say, let's rewind to the height of the bull market, right? There was giveaways going left, right, and center. People were minting, whitelists. It was the whitelist meta. Do you think that Surgence, as an ecosystem, as a community, as a product, has actually got better in the bear because you've had to force to innovate, learn, grow? Relationships have had to be tightened in order to
100%.
You think it's got better? So it's no longer, because I see when I go into Surgence now, it's very much more, everyone's growing, everyone's learning, everyone's building, there's events going on. Whereas in the height of the bull, it's just like, what fucking whitelist can I get? Would you say that
100%.
things have improved in the bear from an inside Surgence?
How I would say this, or respond to this, is that in a bull market, it's really easy to have a community that appears to be so strong and present without any substance behind it to keep that sustaining as soon as the financial incentives and the monetary gains depart. As soon as those whitelists and profitable 10x trades fuck off, your community is going to fuck off too, right? They're not there because of you, they're because of the market. I think that's the thing that we've been cognizant of, which is they're here because of the community platform that we've developed for them. Irregardless of the market, this platform, this vehicle that we've created transcends market cycles. It doesn't care, bull or bear, and we've proven that.
Yep.
It's a great point that you've brought up as well, and I think that's why we don't mention our NFT with our community whatsoever. I mean, we've been around for 9 months, and the community knows to respond that, when someone asks, is there an NFT coming? People will be like, yeah, you just have to wait and find out. Because our biggest focus right now is on bringing these people up. We're not trying to, bring a community of people together who are already at that top level, the peak of, all of Web3. We're trying to elevate everyone so that we can all get up there together. And I think that journey is going to take a lot more time and focus that we might not necessarily have if we were focused entirely on the NFT, all that engagement farming, all of that. All of these wasted activities that don't actually help anyone except ourselves. That's the one thing. So yes, I do agree. It's a lot harder. Well, yeah, it's different building in the bear than it is to the bull, because now people aren't looking at the whitelist. They're looking about how they can actually grow, because the people that are left in the space, they know that you're not left in the space because you want to make money. There's not much money left to be made. These guys are genuinely here because they believe in the space, they want to learn more, and they want to be, at the
want to
forefront
position
of that
themselves
next
better.
level. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Building their personal brand because they know this is something that is scalable when the bull market does come, and it's going to pay dividends for those that do it right.
And it's interesting what you say there about the wasted activities, whitelist grinding, and that type of thing. Because we personally, Immutable Evans, one of our guys.
Oh, I love him. Absolutely love him.
Top G.
Big shout out to Immutable Evans.
Top G. Yeah. Well, we actually had a meeting with the other day and I said, look, any whitelist opportunity now that comes through, there's going to be a core target and focus of literally top 5 projects that we want to have a whitelist or a collaboration with, whether that's a podcast, whether that's a space, whether that is a whitelist opportunity. Anything else can get fucked. Because we don't care about it. The community don't care about it because the project's shite. They're botted, they're engagement farming. The only person who's benefiting is well, in fact, it's harming the community if they then choose to mint this whitelist. And secondly, the project founders, yeah, whatever. I don't know, but like it's just bullshit. Like this stuff that's still going around now. Like, who is that benefiting? Do you know what I mean? It's nobody.
I mean, I would say there are a couple out there that are worthwhile.
Exactly, a couple, and that's
a number
we have that target focus.
Yeah, 100%. I think when we look at it though, there is still that benefit in the collaboration managers, the community members being able to practice being collab managers and building their personal networks in doing this. And I think when I look at it from that front, and community members are bringing us whitelist collaborations, I see them building their networks, I see them out there, I see them building their personal brand, and that's what I really like. As opposed, like, that might bring in crap whitelist, it's inevitable, but like they're starting somewhere and they're getting somewhere, and the quality of whitelist that you start to see coming from different people within the community just goes to show that what they're doing is on the right path, on the right track, and they're getting towards that level where they are like a well-respected collab manager that people are coming to them now, They aren't spending as much time having to go out, kind of pitch themselves, pitch their projects. They are well-respected enough now that people are kind of flocking at them. And I think being able to witness that growth is just like, yo, that's it. Like, this is where we want to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, let's talk about the markets.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let's talk about the markets. What is going on? We've got, there's a few things to dive into. Crypto, for one, there's a big, obviously, story which is coming out, but then we've also got NFTs. I don't really know where to start. Maybe we should start with NFTs because we're in the NFT and Web3 space. Like, what is going on with the markets, and what is going to be needed to reignite some of the... I've got my ideas, but what is needed to reignite the craze, the excitement, the hype, which we have seen previously?
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is that the market has recently been rewarding drama, turmoil, anger, fighting, with attention, a lot of attention. And a lot of the attention has been going to these key figures, like, oof. I'll name them, like Phil and Villain, for example, King Fudd, all them people versus the ETH influencers and, those people fighting against each other. And I think the thing is about these influencers is that, sure, they're trying to protect each other's, personal brands, right? Also, all attacking each other. But they have a platform where they're fighting against each other in front of thousands of people. And these thousands of people are often sheep, right? They're going to side up with the influencer that they follow and also fight each other. And I think the thing that we've been seeing on the timeline is just absolutely horrendous. Like, there's no chance that this space is going to progress if we continue being like, a school playground full of bullies. That's what it feels like. You go into Twitter, it looks like a school playground, just fucking banana peels being thrown everywhere, kids pushing each other over the playground sets. Like, it makes no sense. Like, you compare LinkedIn, a professional platform, versus, Twitter for Web3. It's fucked. The difference is stark. And I don't think we should be like LinkedIn, but I do think that we should be a bit more... we should be treating each other as a collective.
The space is too small for us to be against each other at this point. That's the reality of it. There needs to be like some coalition. There needs to be like some level of connectedness in here for us to collectively come up as a unit, as opposed to, creating these divisions where one side versus another side, and ultimately no one benefits from it. It's like a negative-sum game.
Yeah. And then I think one of the other bigger problems as well in this space is that just money keeps going to the wrong people, the wrong hands.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, Frank the God, someone who I actually, admire, I enjoy, I like the Gods project. Yes, it's on, it's on the Solana ecosystem, but I think, the future of the Web3 space is interoperability, and there won't be, it's not one chain rules them all. We will have, and actually, and it always reminds me that I used to be an absolute Bitcoin maxi. In fact, I ignored Ethereum. I ignored, a number of different projects because I was like, no, Bitcoin. You know, and I made that mistake. Now, I won't do the same with Ethereum. I love Ethereum. I'm massively bullish on it, but I'm also not going to bury my head in the sand when new chains come around, i.e. Solana. And obviously, God bless Solana. What price is it now? I'll check in a minute.
It's at 15 or something, I think.
I think it was 18 the last time I checked.
Okay, but Frank the Gods, love the guy. I think he is building a super cool community, and the fact that I actually wanted to be part of, like, I've bought NFTs in the past where I just wanted it because I was like, I am going to flip this for 3x, 4x, 10x. This is the next Bored Ape, for example. I wanted to be part of Utes just because I like the vibe, you know? And I think that shows that somebody is building a powerful community when you just want to be a part of it. Now, but to your point, he's been taking serious shit on Twitter. He's also been getting sucked into conversations by people, ousting him out,
100%.
and he's been reacting to it. And then it gives people more fuel to the fire, and then then it changes people's perceptions of him. And I feel like saying to him, if I get the chance to speak to him, dude, like, what you're building is, far amazing. And just because some shit poster on Twitter tries to call you out, like, you don't need to react to it because it just gives more fuel to the fire, and then these big arguments start. It's an interesting one.
And because the market is so sensitive and so quick to move, anything that can be said that is wrong, it causes a fire sale. Anything you shine light on or some attention is given, it's a fucking pump. The market is so inefficient, right? Like, it's crazy.
And I think, I think as well, like, and I tweeted about this a while ago, but I think that the majority of people call NFT projects a rug, and I think that the term rug is very much misused because in the startup world, you're only allowed to invest if you're a high net worth individual, or you've been, that person, you've got the friends and family around. Because the barrier to entry in Web3 is so low, everyone's money's at stake, and these people typically might have joined the space, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. If that project fails, as we know, 99% of startups do fail. So naturally, 99% of NFT projects are going to have a tough time succeeding. But then everyone calls them a rug. I don't think half the projects were actually a rug. They just get branded as a rug because people just shitpost them because they've lost their money, right?
Also, like, contrary to that, I do think that one of the biggest things that I hate about this space is that, unlike startups in Web 2 where they receive investment, right, they even put their own finances into the project to the point where they might be just eating spaghetti for fucking, and sleeping on the floor with their friends in an apartment because they're putting so much, they're putting their life into the company that they're trying to build. But in Web 3, it seems like there's this precedent where people deliver after the money is raised. Founders want to line their pockets first, and then try to play the calm game of delivering a product, over a few months. And the thing is that, a lot of these founders that we saw through the bull and bear market even, is that they raise maybe a few $100,000 USD, maybe even $1 million. A lot of that goes straight to their pocket, man.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like, startups, they raise a couple $100,000 and they're good to go for a good period of time, man. It's crazy how people are burning through hundreds of thousands in a couple of months. It's unfathomable. And unless we get over that hurdle of, people truly investing in what they're building themselves, I don't think we're going to progress very far or very high, for that matter.
It's an interesting one, and again, it's a topic which I've thought about sort of long and hard, and I kind of flip flop between, and that is based on royalties, right? But my sort of view on it, and I'd love to hear your view, but my view is this. Every project and founder in a bull market was like, we're the next this, we're the next that, we're going to drive so much value, we're going to create this business, we've got merch, we're going to create an event, a festival system, whatever. Okay, but then as soon as the bear market dries up, right, where are all these funds, like you've just said, but also they're crying out for these royalties, right? So, okay, I think that fine art, art blocks, or, of course, the originals like Bored Apes, who've got really high brand equity and appeal, yeah, royalties maybe because the artist has created something truly special there. They should be getting royalties, and Web3 is something which has changed that compared to traditional art in the Web2 world. But if you're this like next big thing and the next big startup, like where are your revenue streams now? Like why? In what world can a startup raise 5 million, 70 million sometimes, and then complain that they're not got royalties? Like what? Like do you know? It's crazy, right? So like look at us, right? NFT Scoop delivering value, Surgence delivering value. We haven't taken a penny from the community. Then you've got all these other fuckers, multi-million-pound mints, and then they're crying out that they can't get fucking, royalties. Like, get real. Like, are you serious right now? Like,
actually crazy, man.
And I'm serious, right? And also all the fuckers out there on Twitter who think that they're crying out for royalties. Right? If they think that zero royalties are going to destroy the NFT space, they may think they're a big influencer, but they are severely misinformed because that is not how an industry grows. We're not going to grow and change the world from fucking royalties.
100%.
Anyway, you can see I'm quite
I completely agree with you there, man. I think that also the space, the investors themselves, don't hold these founders up to the accountability to that level of standard that we should. I think people just throw their money at projects too easily, man. Like, I can't believe that these projects, these shit-faced founders raising $1 million plus with no proven business model, right? I think at that pace, if we're not rewarding people for building sustainable business models with exciting products, experiences, services, whatever, then the space isn't going to progress because we're not rewarding innovation or grit. We're not rewarding people trying to, put themselves in uncomfortable situations, problem solve, build something unique. We're not rewarding that kind of behavior. What we're rewarding right now are just people fucking hype FOMO marketing. Like, we're rewarding how well someone can market a project.
It's entirely marketing.
With no substance behind it, right? Like, fuck. We're going to be Ponzi for life. We're going to be broke for life. Like, what the fuck? Like, and the thing is, right, these startups that come off a raise of a 7 mil, pre-seed or Series A, whatever, they're not doing any marketing. They're getting all that money purely because the product that they built is beautiful, it's sexy, it's going to reach mass adoption. I don't know, man. Like that always pisses me off. And I think that is going to be the next unlock. As soon as us as the investors stop rewarding those people that can create FOMO and hype, but more so reward those builders that are trying their best to build some sexy products that can reach, impact the market, innovate, push the space forward, then 100% I think we're going to be moving in the right direction. But until then, man, we're going to be in the fucking trenches, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's interesting, the startup I work with, as you guys know, we're building products for mass adoption, right? So when we work with a company and then support their NFT issuance, and we're talking ticketing, proof of attendance, collectibles, loyalty programs, okay, do you think royalties is even a conversation? Like,
no way.
It's all user experience, right? Like, how can you create a nice, seamless,
It's how, and everyone who says, okay, NFT, like, I can go to some people's parties, right, or networking events. Oh, I work in the NFT space, and you get a scuff, because everyone just sees cartoon pictures and apes in their mind, right? But okay, so what we're trying to do is, okay, Web3 is a technology. How can we 10x the experience and usability of current products with Web3? And that is what we're doing, and that is how we're going to help push the space forward. Like, innovation needs to be rewarded. And Ruthless, I've been saying this for time. Like, I've been saying this for months in the newsletter. You can't just do another PFP, but people still are doing it, and still people are minting it. So maybe I was saying that too early, but like, maybe I just had the foresight. It was like, I can't just buy this another PFP now unless there's something serious behind it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't think we're going to see NFTs in the state that we see it right now. There's definitely going to have to be that level of evolution where there's going to have to be, that building that comes out first before you ask for that level of funding. It's crazy though. Like, a couple of the clients that I'm working with right now, their product is infinitely better than anything else on the market right now. But because they don't have that, those networks, those eyes, that level of marketing, they might not necessarily sell out as easily as someone who's got 100% marketing and 0% product. It's absolutely crazy. Like, I don't understand. I don't agree. It's pretty wild. And it definitely goes to show that, we still have a couple of the wrong people in this space. And until, those types of people looking for those quick little flips are kind of weeded out, we're not going to be able to move towards truly investing in Web3 and the future of Web3.
Yep. I think another meta that's come around, though, is Instagram. Instagram is now coming out with their NFTs, right, where people can buy, sell, issue, mint NFTs. Are we going to see the cycle that we experienced repeat on Instagram? By all these, put it this way, they have 10x daily users than we had total. I think we have monthly users on OpenSea. These are uninitiated individuals coming into this space. We've got influencers with high followings who can now mint NFTs. Are we going to see the same cycle?
I do think that so let's take Reddit, for example, right? Reddit had a real successful launch with regards to their digital collectibles because I think that it was just so on brand and it was so natural to just integrate something like that into their ecosystem, where you have people able to set that as their avatars and interact with each other and customize them and give them extra benefits to maybe the subthreads that they're in and the connections that they can form or have access to there, right? Now, I think the way that Reddit did it, right, was that they brought out these digital collectibles and for 2 months you couldn't port them off the chain. So they weren't sellable or transferable yet. They just wanted as many people as possible to mint it, purchase it, but not mint it, but purchase it, and then customize their avatar. Then, after 2 months, there was a feature where you could actually port it over to your wallet. And you can click that, put in your ERC20 address, and your avatar will go over to your Polygon, OpenSea, you can start to trade it about. And then it just went fucking astronomical because they already had user adoption. And then they had external demand coming in from the Web3 native space when people were like, woo, like this is a new meta, like this is where we can make the next 10x. I think it all depends on Instagram's launch strategy. Just like Reddit, how they had a very seamless launch strategy where they could get, they literally had millions of people creating wallets and minting these avatars. So I think the question is like, how can Instagram create an enticing experience or journey where it actually makes sense for these people to collect something that unknowingly catapults or starts their Web3 journey, their trades.
I've had this conversation.
Is it a badge? Can you get a badge on Instagram, for example, which in fact is a token, but they don't know that. Is it a some sort of avatar profile you can set around your Instagram profile picture? Or maybe a frame that you can use on the Instagram photo, some sort of club that you can enter, some exclusive connections. Whatever it is, I think the most important thing is like how can Instagram seamlessly onboard as many people into that ecosystem where the value of these now, maybe collectibles, maybe tokens, maybe whatever it is, these assets is there because there's millions of people adopting it every day within their platform.
Do you think the platform that you're building with Frontier X could be used for Instagram? For example, instead of emails, you now have Instagram names, or even with the emails on Instagram, let's say, Instagram comes to you, they ask you to generate wallets for all of these different emails that they have within their platform. They look at a couple of different metrics, how active you are, how many hours you spend on the platform, and then airdrop you something, right? Something collectible, their very first collection, something like that. Like Instagram themselves' first collection. I think that could be a method.
I won't give too much away about Frontier because some of the products are in the wraps, but the answer is yes. We're now working on Twitter integration where people will sign, create a wallet with the Twitter handle.
Okay.
So
all right, so without going more into that, here's a way that I think Instagram could really launch that next leg up of adoption, where they airdrop according to, how much a user has used that platform. For example, the influencers, the people that grind on Instagram every single day, post things day in, day out, watch stories, create reels. I don't know what happens on Instagram. I used to have it, but I don't know anymore. But I think being able to airdrop all of these people something that is collectible and then having them find out themselves that this something is collectible, that this something is actually worth something, could launch them into that. For example, you saw on Reddit, some people got airdropped NFTs, some people bought NFTs, but they didn't know it was a collectible. They didn't know it was an NFT that they could resell. So there was this one thread where some guy was like, yo, nice flex on whatever your avatar was. And he was like, what are you talking about? I got this for like $10 or something like that. And he responded, yo, this is worth like $10,000, right? If we can do that on Instagram at scale, these people will be running into the platform. They will be running, not into the platform, they'll be running into NFTs, digital collectibles, whatever they call them, right? And that way we get all of these people kind of coming in for that financial incentive, but then going through the hurdles of learning themselves about what NFTs are, and then, you know, having light bulb moments. You know, they might be business owners, they might be, you know, or someone who could use NFT technology, and then they start to think about how this can apply, and there we might see that next level of adoption. That's a conversation that I've had with our community. We talked long and hard, and there were plenty of other ideas, but that's the one thing that stuck out to me, particularly in relation to that thread, at least.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and you know, it's all about it's rewarding. Because obviously Web3 is, you know, they say that the cookies are going to die and it's going to be replaced by the wallet, and people will own their own data, and the winners will be those who can, you know, drive that attention and reward customers for interacting with their platform. So like you say, if you have these certain businesses or influencers within the platform that reward people and they get airdropped for interacting, posting, liking, yeah, it's an interesting one, because the way I saw it would be is someone like Kimmy K on the Extreme View would just drop her like inaugural collection of 1,000 and people would go ballistic, and then it would cause, you know, a FOMO of different people doing it. But it's actually interesting. That would be what you've just mentioned, Esteem, would be the better way to go about it, where it would actually entice change, adoption in a much more clever and subtle way. And it would also...
Why, we had the conversation on influencers as well, but I think what the conclusion was is that when you look at Ethereum NFTs, Polygon NFTs, Solana NFTs, how many influencers, like real-world influencers, hip-hop stars, musicians, artists, or whatnot, have actually rugged the collection that they've made? And so I think when we look towards Instagram and people start doing that base-level research on, you know, these influencers releasing NFT projects, and then they start to reference all of these past use cases, there might be that base level of fear where they're like, okay, this has happened before, this might happen again, maybe we don't mint this even though it's associated with this person.
I get what you're saying, but there is so many more users on Instagram than there was on someone buying Chris Brown's NFT on OpenSea. Like, I think you will get dragged. If that FOMO train happens, like, the people who've experienced it and have had experience with Web3 on OpenSea and they've seen what happened will get drowned out by a hype. Like, purely because of the massive users. But we'll see. It's definitely an interesting play for Instagram. But I think it's also quite weird that, like, 4 years ago, obviously at the moment we're like reporting on news that's like Google have just now partnered with Coinbase, Instagram are adopting NFTs. Like, this type of news 3-4 years ago would have actually been unheard of, and it's actually crazy that the space we're in, like, yes, we've just blown up on crypto, and we'll move into that in a second, but like the actual adoption levels that we're seeing, it is happening in real time. People talk about mass adoption, but like, I think if you take a step back and look what's happening, you know, we're getting there.
And the thing is, I hate to say this, but all the incredible innovation that's happening in the background, like Meta, for example, integrating NFTs into their business model, is not getting noticed or not getting the recognition that it should be from the market, because the market is absolutely focused on the drama, the turmoil that's unfolding in front of us. And the thing is, there's been a string of events that have just been drowning all this cool innovation out in the background, because obviously the algorithms don't reward that. It's rewarding the drama, the turmoil. And so I know there's this, I think the founder of Airtree, a huge VC fund in Australia, he's a Web3 addict as well. He always makes these tweets about how there's huge innovation happening in the background and it's not getting the recognition it deserves. Meta integrating NFTs. Barely anyone in the market talked about it at all. Everyone was too focused talking about Beanie Maxi making a return to Twitter, or Shilling Villain, or this or that, right? Like it's like Do Kwon coming back, right? Like,
Yeah, I get you. It's like what we say, right? The right people are just the attention and money is flowing to the wrong entities at the moment. Yeah, it's true. So, do any of you on the Art Gobblers mint?
Nah, hell no, no way. Did you?
Nah, man. We actually.
I wish. That was insane. This is what
Have you seen the floor price?
right
Yeah,
now
3
it's probably around 3 ETH or something, right?
That's crazy, man. Like
It
we reported on them and did a YouTube episode on them and just said, look, like, and you know what? The idea behind it was actually quite innovative in the fact that you're not going to be able to screenshot an art gobblers if they've eaten different types of NFTs, and you can see how these decentralized art gallery of different people holding different NFTs. There was innovation there, but fuck me, I'm glad I said onto YouTube publicly, do not buy them.
Yo.
I think it was astronomical and it got dumped so hard. And I think this just goes to show the level of market manipulation there is in the space. There's no way in hell that the typical investors that trade every day could raise a floor up to 15 ETH. Like, there's definitely whale movers in the background, market makers, VCs just trying to scalp off that, right? Like, that was astronomical, man, going from 3 mid to fucking 15 ETH floor.
We went to 21, didn't it?
21.
Yeah, we have 21, brother. Crazy.
My head, man. Oof. And the thing is, it's funny because, I mean, it's not funny because I guess people got in on secondary thinking that this is going to be the next fucking 40 ETH hit, whatever, because of all the hype around it, because of this astronomical, artificial pump that it had, and got absolutely burnt. They saw their investments drop by 10 ETH. Like, it's oh god. I think that's the thing. Like that kind of market maneuver, like movements in this space, is just very dangerous and will drive people away, 100%.
No, I completely
and leaves a
agree.
bad taste because we saw what happened in the market after that. Everyone was fucking turning on those influencers. Everyone was speaking about it. It was the only thing that you
that's the
saw in the Twitter
conversation, right?
timeline.
Everyone was like, you aren't in control, or you aren't in as much control as you think you are. Like, all of the control and all of these floor prices lies with some small group of people in the background that you may not know, you may know. It kind of shows that we're not in a free market, and if it's not in a free market, it's like we're not in the right market whatsoever. Because, it's like you lose. That's all you can really do in a market that's being completely manipulated.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. I'm me personally, I'm also quite a heavy crypto boy as well. So, I have kind of like two sides of Twitter. I have NFT Scoop, where I'm following a lot of the NFT. And then I have, different lists, of course, in my personal profile where I'll follow a lot of crypto news. But like right now, moving, you've got people saying like, I regret ever getting into crypto Web3. It's like complete doom and gloom, right? I actually embrace that shit. And if the building's on fire, walk in. That's a quote from me this year, right? So, like, go against the grain. Like, I'm actually deploying capital right now into the markets. Like genuine. Yeah. Not in real life, guys. If the building's on fire, don't walk in. This is purely based on going against the general consensus, right?
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice, but like we've had Three Arrows Capital, Suzu, Do Kwon, Celsius, and now SBF. What the fuck?
Like 3 Black Swan events in the span of a year, man. Crazy. We're probably not going to get prices like this again for a while. Or this might become a common occurrence. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Is it the end of crypto, guys? Or what do you guys think?
Oh, absolutely not, man. We haven't even gotten started yet.
Ruthy?
Yeah, I don't think so. Like I was saying, I think cryptocurrencies and blockchain already have found their permanent place in society, which is that seamless, seem like free movement of money across borders, regardless of where you are. I think that's just so important because it's allowed for labor arbitrage, allowed for the global market to interact with each other without any friction, without any governance, except for the governance of the network, right? And that's important stuff because, for example, Surgence is something like we embody this truly. This is like we're very appreciative of blockchain tech because the way that we settle payments with our community members between our partners is through blockchain. It's through MetaMask transactions on Ethereum, right? Through the movement of USDC tokens from the partner's wallet to our employee's wallet, right? And I think, and that is not something that can be possibly done through your typical Stripe payment systems because, fuck, man, the banks can hold your money. They see suspicious activity for nothing, they hold it down. Like PayPal, right? My account's on PayPal has been locked multiple times. ANZ, my bank in Australia, I've been locked out of that multiple times too because you interact with a suspicious side, or maybe you're in a different country, you use your card, you forgot to let the bank know, everything like that, right? And fuck, I don't want the ATO to be watching my every step. I probably shouldn't be saying that on this call anyways, but the ATO is the Australian Taxation Office. There's so many obstacles, right? So many obstacles within the existing traditional like financial systems that we have, which cryptocurrency and the blockchain alleviates. And for us, it's an absolute enabler for the type of impact that we can have on people, especially in third world countries, and tapping into a global labor market of talent and job opportunities. And that's only been made possible because of the blockchain.
Beautifully said, man.
So that's why I'm bullish on Web3. That's my biggest thesis. Everyone has their own thing, gaming, P2E, this, that. My personal thesis is exactly that. It's that global talent market, job opportunities, people are able to work and settle agreements and contracts and transactions within a second.
Yep.
No intermediate parties.
It's interesting because, you speak to somebody in the UK or somebody in Australia who isn't native to the space. You try and explain Bitcoin, they might say, well, I don't get it. You try and explain Bitcoin to somebody in Venezuela and the benefits of it, and they understand it straight away. Instantly. Because
the Web3 community over in Africa is humongous.
Yeah.
And
it's not even just
some
that,
of our
right? It's
smartest members and hardest workers are from there. They are well ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's more so that, look, crypto appeals to those that are disenfranchised by a lot of the world systems that are already in place, right? For example, countries, like third world countries whose currencies are almost worth nothing, where minimum wage doesn't exist, when all of these different systems are not in their favor, when literally everything else is against them, they do have that level of reliability in crypto if they can earn it, right? And I think what I'm also seeing is that a lot of these countries have made crypto illegal for the fact that it solves a lot of the problems that these countries do have, which is pretty unfortunate. But you're completely right. Depending on the demographic that you try to pitch Web3, Bitcoin, crypto to, it does make a lot more sense to people who are able to feel firsthand the benefits of it. Whereas those who, are living more cushy lives, that are more against change, they may not necessarily see it in the same vein.
Completely. It's the reason, and from what you two have both just said, it's actually the reason that I entered the space. Obviously I saw the pumps, look, people get in for the pumps, right? Initially, until they discover what this really means. And like I said, I used to be a Bitcoin maxi, and everything that we've just spoke about is the reason why I understood that technology was fundamentally important for the world, and just how fucked, the financial markets are, and if Web3 can make a difference, and a dent on that, and start a financial revolution, then, the game's won. Obviously there's P2E, NFTs, art, WAGMI, but, at the core of it, if you're decentralizing not just money but opportunity, it's huge.
100%. 100%.
So, next up, in your Web3 careers, guys, I know Surgent's been 9 months, but however long you've been in there, talk to me about your biggest rug stories.
Well, but I mean, me and Esteemed here went through Pixelmon together, so that was good fun.
Does that count as a rug? Because they're still building now.
So.
I would say it's
I
Pixelmon. Probably my biggest loss was from Pixelmon. I'm trying to think of others that have happened recently, but I genuinely can't think of any. For the fact that...
maybe not rugs. Have you, what has been your worst play?
Creeps.
Creeps?
I got into creeps at about 10 ETH or something like that. And I exited at about 2.5 to 3. And this is when ETH was at about 4K. I fucking lost a fuck ton of money on the creeps, man. And I'll tell you exactly how I ended up in that play. And Esteem knows this person. There's a guy called and when Creeps was mooning, he was a spokesman for them. He was talking to us every single day, 100 messages a day about Creeps. Yo, I'm making $1,000 in passive income every day on Creeps. Yo, Creeps is already at this floor price, 5 ETH today, 6 ETH tomorrow. Just wait, next week it's going to be 12 ETH, and you guys are going to say, oh, fuck, didn't tell me earlier, right? You guys are going to FOMO in. I'm telling you right now, get in now or it's going to be too late, right? I foolishly listened to it, and I got in. And I absolutely fucked myself over, man. Holy fuck. It went down to 7 ETH, and I was like, oh, it's all right. It's probably going to pump again. It's got longevity. The community's strong. Went down to 5 ETH, and then it went down to 4 ETH, and then it went down to 2 ETH, and then it went down to 1.7, and I exited at 2 to 3, somewhere between there. I was like, fuck, man. I'll just cop this L.
Gee, I mean, look, we've been there. My worst story, I think, is I bought a photograph of a palm tree, which you may have heard this before, but it's when ETH was at 4K, and I spent 4 ETH on a picture of a palm tree, which then got me whitelist to Weather Report, which was going to be the next big fucking thing. And it was going to be 12 ETH and shit, because it was by the artist. The artist of the palm tree actually was also the leader of Weather Report, and I was like, I'm going to make 12 ETH here. I'd already spent it in my head. And then there was all that drama that Dented Fields was actually the original artist, and he got fucked over. And then the floor price tanked, and I was pissed. And then obviously the fucking palm tree tanked, because I bought the palm tree. The palm tree I could have sold for 7 ETH when people realized you could get a whitelist for Weather Report. So I was there with a 7 ETH asset, and I was waiting for then greed takes over, and then I'm getting this next whitelist. It's just a fucking Ponzi, right? And then I end up with nothing. And obviously I've done worse ones in crypto. We're talking $250,000 to 0, as I've probably told you already.
Yeah, I remember this story, brother.
That was last Christmas. So we're coming up to that time again. And I actually did that drunk. So, yeah.
It's all right, man. We'll keep an eye on you this time around.
Yeah. We're gonna have to fly over and take care of you during Christmas, man.
Oh, I know. So, you guys are big Twitter users. You have absolutely smashed it from a Twitter perspective, and you guys are very good marketeers. You've got a background in product. What are your thoughts on Elon taking over Twitter? Are you bullish or bearish?
I'm bullish. Okay. I'll start off with the bearish part. I'm bearish because I'm scared. The reason why I'm scared is because, understanding, having seen how large tech products have been built in the background, right? For large products like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google, whatever, there's probably a very stringent process through which functions are tested. Well, first of all, prioritized. Features are prioritized, built, tested rigorously, from the product perspective itself, and then with selected users and different demographics, right? And then launched, and it's gone live. Now, I think that with Elon coming in, his biggest gripe with Twitter was how slow it was moving. And so he's going to be shooting out features like no tomorrow. And I think he said that on Twitter. He's going to be shooting out features like no tomorrow, which is good, but also pretty fucking scary because I don't know how much he's going to change the platform. Maybe he's going to launch a couple of things that are completely disadvantaged of Web3 community. Who knows? But I'm bullish because of that too. Like he's going to launch out some plenty of good features that I've been waiting for. Like I want CodeTweet to come to Australia ASAP. Hey, Elon Musk, if you're watching this, CodeTweet Australia right now. I'm pissed off. I want to CodeTweet with people right now in Web3. But I do think that also Elon Musk is quite native to Web3. And so he's going to be providing a lot of a theme of Web3 stronger than what it was before. Beyond just, setting your profile picture on chain. I think there's going to be plenty of new functionalities that will come through that will benefit us in the space.
So I'm looking forward to Vine coming back. I'm going to rip that motherfucker apart.
Yeah, Vine coming back. I also think that Elon might be coming up with some very exciting models, systems, maybe on-chain, maybe off-chain, who knows, ways for profiles and content creators to monetize their audience on Twitter as well.
100%, man. Short-form content is taking over. Everything out there is trying to adopt TikTok's model now, like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. Like I was on Netflix the other day, and they also had a little snippet where you can watch snippets of little movies, and it's just you scroll through it, right? And like it's not going to be long until Twitter start to adopt that as well, because everyone is realizing how much virality, how much attention you kind of take from people when you're using this short form content. So it's going to be interesting to see, and I think there's definitely going to be that component of monetization to bring more users toward the platform as well. Could be good, could be bad. We'll just have to see for the wait for the results.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? It's like attention. We're in an attention economy, and attention is so valuable now. And it's almost like attention has become deflationary because people's attention spans are getting less and less and less to the point where literally you need to hook people within the first second or they're gone. But it's also become more valuable than it ever has before. Like, it's crazy. And short form content is great, but it hasn't helped that. Like, people literally want things summarized in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you think, yeah, or like, maybe society has succeeded in making everyone a sheep, but that's essentially what is happening at this point.
For sure. Right, we've been on here for some time now, guys. So I want to be able to wrap up soon, but I've got a few more questions before we finish things up. So if you two weren't in Web3 and you weren't building Surgence, what would you be doing now?
Oh,
Man.
mate, I would still be in my boring old banking job, working with old family offices, looking for commercial real estate opportunities for them to invest in, looking for development deals for them to invest in, and then having to listen to them talk hours and hours on end at golf, which I have absolutely zero interest in. That's essentially where I'd still be.
Steve, before you go in, let me rephrase that. Okay. That may be what you may not have been. That may be what you've been doing if you weren't building Surgence. But let's say Web3 wasn't around and you had your dream opportunity and you weren't building Surgence. What would you be doing?
Oh,
We want to get to know the guys behind the mask.
that's such a tough one. Just because even with Surgence, right, the vision wasn't immediately clear from the very beginning. It was an iterative process for us to arrive at where we are now, that we can't think of any vision outside of the vision that we now have. So I'm going to need some time on this. I genuinely don't know.
No problem.
Want me to jump in?
Definitely got me off guard. Definitely got me off guard.
I'll jump in then. I
Go
think
ahead,
that if Web3 didn't exist, I didn't get into it, I'm still doing Web2. I think that my ideal long-term role would have been go to market or launch. So, for example, what that looks like is I might join a tech startup and they have a product and they're ready to scale up beyond their local market into an international market. So maybe take their product to America. And I would join that team, understand the product, and be one of the first employees over in America, for example, and set up the office there and scale it and start their initial sales traction there. Yeah. I love that mentality of just going to market and then, also like I fucking love traveling a lot. So a job that does that is pretty sick.
Professional snowboarder.
Yeah.
Okay.
You best bet in Web 2 that I was going up to meetings with my ski mask on.
Imagine.
Okay. What is the most valuable thing you have learnt since entering Web3?
Oof.
Oh, mine's 100%. Just show up every single day. And this is actually a lesson that I learned from Ruthy. I mean, I can go through all of the lessons that I've learned from him and that I've learned from the community, but we'd be here for a long time. Another one that really sticks with me is that perfection is the killer of progress. Because I'm someone that likes to plan, you know. I've come from a corporate environment where I want to make sure everything is perfect before I push it out. And I've spent a lot of time planning, thinking about contingencies, thinking about, you know, all of the different ways that I could mitigate the risk. Where Ruthie is like, bro, you've been fucking on this for 2 hours, just get it out, you know? Is send it out, deal with the problems, iterate as you go.
Move
It's like
fast and break things.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. Have a hypothesis that you can have in your mind about the results that you want to get out of this for you to make your next hypothesis, right? Get enough data from this so that you can pivot in a way that it does work, or if it doesn't work, you know, fix it then, iterate then. You know, don't spend so much time trying to figure out something that you probably won't be able to get any data points for because you wouldn't be able to see until everyone kind of responds and reacts to it. So that's probably my biggest takeaway, and that's why we've been able to kind of maintain this level of agility where anything new that comes on, we're able to push it out, we're able to cater towards our community's needs, we're able to listen to all of the feedback and just give them what they want.
Nice.
100%. I think
Nice.
the biggest thing that I learned is, I realized from Web3 was the power of networking. I never
Okay.
really put that much effort into networking in Web 2 because in Web 2
Yep.
it's not too much of a big thing. Like you network within your company. Sometimes you go to conferences and network, but it's not as like the Web 3. It's a complete different playing field. Networking opens up opportunities and opens up information sharing like no tomorrow. People are so collaborative in this space, which makes networking ever so much more meaningful as well.
I completely agree with that, like, so much. Typically, I never used to get networking events. Like, when I entered the working world, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to this networking event. Like, okay, like, you know what I mean? I would just show
You
up.
just feel like you're kicking the fucking grass.
And I would,
down
yeah,
a bit.
you were always like this dude who, you know, especially when you just left university, for example, you go to this networking event and you're typically like the small fish there, and then people pass these like bullshit pieces of card around. I'll call you. Do you know what I mean? And it just never happens.
Yeah.
But like Web3, genuinely, businesses, relationships, deals are spun up very, very fucking quickly. Like, you know, just you the other day, Ruthless, passed me on to your contact. You know, I have a call with him this morning. You know, it is, and you know, there is immediate value that we all both trade with each other. It is just incredible. Like, I completely fucking agree with that. It is so true. Okay, and finally, other than joining Surgence, and obviously we recommend everybody joining Surgence who is listening today and have the opportunity to apply to get in, you know, what recommendations would you have for people who are looking to make the transition into Web3?
Oh, this one's
From
easy, and
Web
I'm
2.
sure Ruthie's going to agree on this. Build your personal brand. You're not going to get anywhere without having a personal brand in the space. You know, having that personal brand and being able to network and people looking back and knowing who you are is going to open countless opportunities that's going to make it worthwhile for you to be in Web3.
Amazing.
I think that as well to stay curious. Every day you realize you don't know shit, and every day that progresses you realize you don't know more shit. It's crazy. And I think like being actively curious when you enter the space is necessary for growth because there's just so many nuances and complexities in the space that just don't exist in any other industry. Like the terminologies of vernacular, even like that stuff is weird. The way that projects are managed, whitelists, right? Like the systems are getting whitelists, what the common criteria are. How is marketing done in Web3? What are the roles that you can get in Web3? Like you need to be curious to discover that information. That's just not going to be fed to you. So I think curiosity and being able to connect with people to solve for that curiosity as well, and taking initiative to find answers to your questions.
Wise words.
Myself and Esteemed often find that our best members are the ones that are most curious and most willing to learn and realize that they don't know everything. As soon as we come across someone that thinks they know everything, it's a red flag, because I don't know anything about Web3 still. Like, this shit's like complex. Like, it's complex.
Man, I feel exactly the same. Like, if I speak to like the outside world about NFTs, like I probably sound, just having a coffee with one of my friends, I probably sound like a fucking genius. But genuinely, when you enter into the world of Twitter, Web3 people, like you realize how little you actually know, and that is the mindset that I've. Pardon?
There are so many big brains out there that do get it, right? Like, I think what we're doing is like we're comparing ourselves to the top of the top. And that's always a good thing to do, because then you know that there's always that next level that you want to climb towards. And, I think it's more so the fact that each of us surround ourselves with the right people day in, day out, where we're always learning from someone. I think there's a really nice quote that I heard sometime on Twitter today: to never be the smartest person in the room. Because if you are the smartest person in the room, you're doing something wrong. There's nothing left for you to learn there. So you're not in a growth-inducive environment. And I think each of us here do try to place ourselves into that type of environment where we always have something to be learning from.
Absolutely. Well, look, guys, this has been amazing and a privilege to have you both on screen in your ski masks. I know the community are going to love this. And, it's a privilege to have seen you guys grow to where you are today, to back when we were recording the first call onto, on Discord. So thank you for your time. And guys, if you've got to the end of this episode and enjoyed Ruthless and Esteemed and you're looking to get into Web3, first thing to say is follow those guys on Twitter, because 1, they're insightful, 2, they have a lot of wisdom, but 3, they're just full of banter. So, and then make your way and make your steps to joining the Surgence community, because it is a fucking unbelievable one, and it's going to leverage and level up your knowledge in the Web3 space and life. So, look, thank you guys. It's been fucking unreal.
Thank you, man. Thank you for this opportunity. It's the first time we've done anything like this, but wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else other than one of our longest term partners.
100%. And
that's it.
Look, maybe early next year we do another one and we see where we're at, because I think this journey accelerates. The more days we go through Web3, the further we get from where we started. It
really makes sense.
Class. Right. Signing out, guys. See you later.
See you.